This is bankrupting Florida homebuyers, and no one is warning you. Your realtor might not catch it, your lender won't alert you, even your builder may not protect you. In this video, I'll expose 5 hidden costs that are draining Florida homebuyers and how you can avoid them before signing anything. I'm Jim Shields from Southern Impression Homes, and we build homes all over the state of Florida. I see these mistakes happening every day. Buyers think they're safe because it's new construction, but that's exactly where hidden fees can slip in, and if you don't know where to look, they will hit you right after closing. Number 1, unpermitted work. Even new homes or full renovations can hide unpermitted work like plumbing, HVAC, or roof replacements. I've seen it all the time where sometimes the city inspector doesn't get out. They try to do something a little bit on the side, and you're left holding the bag because if the city finds out, it becomes your problem. You could be forced to bring in new contractors, reopen permits, or even pay for permits, and definitely pay fines. And sometimes it is fines on a daily basis, meaning until you get something corrected, you are fined a certain amount of money every day until it's fixed. So my tips to you, always demand permit records, final inspections. That's something that you want to make sure your CO is done, and then verify with the city if there's been any sort of problems with the property. Number 2, community development districts, CDD. Developers use CDDs to fund roads, sewers, and amenities without spending their own money. Homeowners pay back the bond through annual fees added to your property taxes. These fees often run $200 to $400 per month and can last 30 years or more. So my tip on that, ask if the home is in a CDD, how many years are left on the bond, and what the current annual fee is. Number 3, property tax reassessment. When you buy a home, the county resets the tax value to your purchase price, not just the land value. The old owner's tax bill might look a lot lower because it was just based off land value, but yours could double or triple. So you want to make sure you're checking the numbers of what is the actual tax estimate's going to be once it's going not off just land value, but a true property value with a house on it. So on average, taxes can jump $2,500 in the first year after purchase. Now you might get that break the first year, getting taxed at land value. That helps get your cash flow up that first year, but make sure you're prepared to know what it will likely jump to once it's going from land value to full property mode where it's both the land and the new dwelling on top. So remember, use your county's property tax estimator based on your actual offer price. That's going to allow you to check what your estimated taxes will be. You can do your numbers and work accordingly. Number 4, HOA fees and special assessments. Now, many buyers overlook HOA fees or don't review the documents closely. Some HOAs are underfunded and pass surprise assessments to cover major repairs. This is something I saw back in the 08-09 meltdown. You could get a great deal on a property, even a newer property, that was in an HOA area. However, the HOA was basically going bankrupt. There was no one paying the HOA fees except for a few people that stuck around. Now, once you bought that property, then you could get something called a special assessment. This could be tens of thousands of dollars on a community that's been going defunct. So you have to watch for these HOA fees. If they're underfunded, you could get a surprise bill, which could really put you behind. The average HOA in Florida costs about $275 a month or $3,300 a year. Now that is affordable as long as you get into your numbers. If you're cash flowing a property, again, you just have to be clear on them and make sure there's not a lot of back charges or that they're in a dysfunctional situation where you're going to get hit with that big special assessment. Not a good thing, or they might even double or triple or quadruple your monthly dues. You got to be careful of that. So review your HOA budgets, reserve funds, and ask if any special assessments are planned. You can even ask for the HOA financials. That's something that can be a very important thing if you're getting into a property zone where a lot of properties have gone bad. Number 5, flood insurance and homeowners insurance. Now, it's no secret certain areas of Florida have had some real storm risk, and that's caused premiums to skyrocket. Not on all properties, and this is where you have to really search around. And flood insurance is mandatory in certain designated areas, and that can cost you thousands more per year. So you want to make sure you check on that. And even outside flood zones, home insurance has doubled or tripled in certain areas. The important thing here is to distinguish which homes are being punished and which homes are being rewarded. From what I've seen as a builder, we're getting rewarded for building on higher ground into stronger structural design than compared to 50 or 60 years ago, because the insurance companies are all about risk. So if you get into a home, make sure you get the FEMA maps checked. That the FEMA flood maps are where you can look to see, does it require flood insurance? And a good insurance broker will be able to get you a quote and let you know if you need flood insurance or not. Now, flood insurance is not necessarily something that means you shouldn't buy a property. You just want to work it into your numbers. And something that no one talks about, certain flood areas are more severe than others. There's different degrees of a flood map. So you might be in an area that's low risk or higher risk. So make sure you look at that. That'll affect your premium and your overall risk. And a good local insurance person, if you work with them, will be able to get you different quotes. It's very interesting once you start looking at different properties and you get a few quotes to see which properties are rewarded and which properties are punished. So make sure you go through this, because that can affect your numbers. And again, it's one of the biggest hidden costs in Florida. So why is this important? Because if you thought you were getting a $2,200 a month payment and then all these hidden fees hit and you're more like at $3,000 or $3,100 a month or more, then that can kill your cash flow. It destroys your ROI and it makes the home unaffordable. So one mistake up front can cost you tens of thousands of dollars. So don't get caught up in false hopes that say, oh, new homes are always clean and safe. The title company will catch hidden fees. If it's not in the disclosures, it's not my problem. Those ideas are dangerous, and if you don't ask the right questions and do your homework, you will be the one left holding the bag. At Southern Impression Homes, we build with transparency. Every home is permitted, inspected, and documented. We provide full disclosure on CDDs, tax estimates, and insurance implications before you sign a thing. This is how we protect our buyers and our investors. For buyers, ask for any permit records that you think you need to see. Make sure that everything has been done right and the property has gone through CO. Use tax estimator tools as well. Make sure you're getting the taxes at an estimate close to where you're actually going to be paying, and not just for land value, but also once the dwelling's on there. And get your insurance quotes early so you see, is the property going to get blown out of proportion with a bad insurance thing because it's on low-lying ground and an older property? Get that quote first. That way you'll know early whether the property works or not. And ask for HOA and CDD documents. You want to make sure that HOA is healthy. You're not going to get hit with all these surprise special assessments. And even so, do all your homework, but always, like every time I'm buying a property, I budget for surprise costs. Now, for real estate agents, build a hidden cost checklist into every deal. Your buyers are really going to appreciate you taking that extra step for them, and help your clients spot any non-ad valorem tax charges. This is absolutely key. Most people won't do that. And know your local CDD maps, HOA rules, and flood zone impacts. When you bring that information for your buyer, they're going to trust you more. So educate your buyers, and that's going to win you with referrals. Overall, Florida is still full of opportunity, but only for informed buyers on the right properties. If you ask the right questions and work with the right team, you'll avoid a lot of the traps and get all the inside without the pain. Smart real estate always starts with clarity. Want my free hidden cost audit checklist? Click the link below and I'll send it to you. And if you're thinking about buying or building in Florida, reach out to me directly. I'll walk you through everything that most people miss.